I bet you've been trying to get lag by creating a sharp angle with the wrist and then maintaining that or holding that angle throughout the swing. What if I told you that won't work to get as much lag as you deserve? You actually need to do the opposite of that. I want you to have almost no wrist set in the backswing. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get a big shoulder turn, a big arm swing, really get these hands back, and I want to feel like this club never sets. Almost like a John Rahm, where at the top of your swing, the club is straight up and down toward the sky. Then in the downswing, we're going to increase that. So let's start with the backswing. I'm going to feel like my wrist never set in the backswing, like they go wide here, very little angle on my wrist. This would be what's called a radial deviation. This would be ulnar deviation. I want to feel like it's an ulnar deviation, and I want to feel like if I had a laser shooting out of my golf club, that laser is pointing up to the sky at the top of my backswing. Now, it's really not going to happen that way. If you feel like your club is straight up and down, it's going to end up being about like that. So feel like it is way up there, no wrist set at all. Just club head to the sky. If you had a 10-foot ceiling, it would be popping through that 10-foot ceiling. And then from there, here's the big piece. As you start your downswing, now I'm going to feel that sharpen up. I'm going to feel like this club gets that angle in the downswing. Tour pros max out the most angle of lag they have when the left arm is parallel to the ground. I call it the max lag position. So when I'm making my downswing here, I want to feel like it's sharpening, sharpening, sharpening all the way to here. I want to feel like if I'm going this direction, I want to feel like that club would come down and hit me on the back of the shoulder. If I hit the top of the shoulder like this, I would be too steep. A lot of players make that mistake. I want to feel like it hits the back of my shoulder like that. So no lag in the backswing, and it's going to hit me in the back of the shoulder, bounce off the shoulder there. Again, that's not going to happen. These are just feelings. But if you have those two feelings, man, it's going to be really easy to create a whole bunch of lag in the golf swing. Watch how crazy this lag gets when I really try to do this exaggeration drill that I just went over with you. There we go. That thing took off low like a bullet because I had a ton of lag, a ton of shaft lean. Almost too much lag, to be honest with you, for what I would want to get in my swing. I almost overdid it to where I overlagged the club, and I felt like there's not enough time to get through with it. If I had an iron, that would be the same kind of swing. They would have tons and tons of forward shaft lean, and it would come out low and super compressed. You do those two things together, and it's going to make a world of difference. But there's a third thing that is even more important. The third thing is getting close enough to the ground while maintaining your width. And I have something called a pirate ship drill. Now, if you can imagine that there is a line between your hands and the center of your sternum. When I make lag, or when I try to get lag, here's a mistake that I see everybody make. When they sharpen that angle up, they fold up and get narrow. The distance between my hands and my sternum got shorter. In my backswing, I was way out here. In my downswing, I was way here. Even if you get a lot of lag, if you break that down and get shorter distance there, you're not going to get the club head speed. So you may say, hey, I got a ton of lag, it looks better on camera. Why'd it go 20 yards shorter? That was really weird. Well, I have to keep that width as that's happening. I have a really intuitive drill called the pirate ship drill where I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. I'm going to talk about how to get this lag and still maintain this width so that I can create club head speed. Imagine a club swinging around on a circle. Well, if it's a really tiny, tight circle, it's not going to move very fast. Imagine now this big, long circle, less energy, less effort. You can get that thing moving a whole lot faster. So I'm going to play a preview of that here in just a second. All you're going to do is go ahead and click the card that's going to pop up somewhere on your screen here. And if you don't see the card, don't worry about that. Just go down to the description below, click the link there, and you'll get instant access to that pirate ship drill. You pair that up with what we did here today, and you're going to have tons of lag, and you're going to get a lot of club head speed. Best of luck. I'll see you in the pirate ship drill. All right, so let's jump right in to one of my favorite videos I've ever done on lag, one of the ones I've seen the best results with. And we'll talk in a minute why this is called pirate ship, but it's really a play on a wide, narrow, wide drill, or a wide, narrow throw drill that I've done in the past and have tons of success with. So if in the backswing, my club head kind of at parallel to the ground was, say, a good 5, 6, maybe even 7 feet away from the center of my body. In the downswing, it's much closer to my body. That's the narrowing part because I have this big angle of lag. And then I throw all that out in front, really let those arms extend, and I go wide again. Now, a lot of times, I'll see players misinterpret this drill, and they take a really good drill that's having tons of success, and they do it the wrong way and really struggle with it, feel like a lot of hands and arms. So if you've done this drill in the past and you feel a little bit out of sequence, you feel like your hands and arms just aren't working right, I bet this is exactly what you did. So when you're going wide in the backswing, that's all good. Most people get that correct. You really got to rotate the body. But when they narrow, the misrepresentation that a lot of players will have is they'll narrow up the arms, not the club head that we want to narrow, but they'll misinterpret this drill as narrowing the arms, and they'll do something like this. I want you to think of your arms as a pirate ship. Here's what I mean by that. You've probably been to an amusement park before where they have one of these big giant pirate ships. Everybody's packed on there in these seats. And then the pirate ship is down at the bottom. There's a big arm, and then that arm starts swinging back and forth just like a pendulum, right? And the ship goes back and forth. Well, the cool thing about this, so you can relate to your golf swing,